Good morning, garden friends. Today, I am going to be working in this back area. And the main thing that I'm going to be doing is potting up these pots. Currently, I have, or I should say I had, 3 endless summers in these pots back here. And this is the thing, during early spring and early summer, they bloom beautiful. But as you guys know, my garden is full sun, even though I have some trees pretty much from my neighbors that does provide some shade, but not enough for the endless summers. So I am going to take those out, and I'm going to be planting some Candy Corn Spireas. I think it is going to end up looking so nice to have that pop of color against the fence, because when the endless summers bloom with that vibrant pink color to them, it looks gorgeous. But the reality is, even back here in the 3 locations that I have them, it gets way too much sun. And like I said before, pretty can sometimes get me in trouble. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually donating them to a garden club so that they can get use out of it, because I do not believe in throwing plants away. So, like I said, for today, this is about adding a splash of color. I'm going to be getting a lot of this area cleaned up. Like I have, let me show you. Let me turn my camera out. Like this area here, I'm gonna go ahead and get my hostas cut back, my autumn joy sedum. I don't think it likes it right here. So I'm gonna dig that up and find another spot to put that. I'm probably gonna plant some bulbs back in this area. So between me getting the endless summer hydrangeas out and the Spirea, those are the things that I'm going to be working on. And like I said, I've already gotten 2 taken out already. So let me go ahead and get my supplies, get this last hydrangea out. I'm going to mix in some compost and manure in the soil so that I can get the Spirea planted. And then, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this all cut back, get it blown out, because we got so many leaves back here. So let me go get my stuff. All right, let's see if this one is as easy to get out as the other 2 were. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I'll get all of this stuff blown out before I give these to them, get them cleaned up for them. Now, there's still some dirt in here. I'm gonna go ahead and mix some of the compost and manure before I plant the Spirea. And like I said, very low maintenance. I'm not gonna put any fertilizer in this, not until the spring, but planting it in the compost and manure mixture, I think, will allow it to take root before we get the colder weather. Look at this, guys. This is going to look so pretty against the back of the fence. going to agitate the roots a little bit so they can go ahead and start to get into it. Wow, don't that look nice? Let me get some more compost and put around it. And then I'll get the other two done. Then I'll come through, water it, and then mulch it. One down, two more to go. Let's go ahead and get the camera over set up in the other section. All right, guys, so I got the candy corn planted, but it looks a little crazy back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, get my hostas cut down. I'm going to take my autumn joy sedum and plant that elsewhere, but I'm going to go ahead and put some snapdragons, and I think I got like a straggly Shasta daisy that I'm going to put in here. Then I'm going to get this area blown out. Then I will show you guys how nice this garden area looks now that I have the Spirea and this bed cleaned up. Now, while I've clipped back the autumn joy sedum, I'm going to keep these guys and propagate them, plus give some to my garden friend that's here. Now, as you get late in the season, you know, this is what ends up happening to your hostas. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these guys all the way back. And then I'm going to put little compost and manure on top of this before I mulch. And then that way this area will be all set for spring. And this is the thing, you know, part of the reason why you want to go ahead and cut it back, because it reduces you having disease and the little bugs that may not always be good for your garden. It doesn't give them housing. So, but yeah, let me go ahead and get the rest of these cut back. Like I said, I'm going to be planting some large cup daffodils back here, moving the autumn joy sedum. I'm going to be putting some snapdragons and a coneflower, just to have, you know, something coming up through the season. But then too, snapdragons are supposed to be annuals, but this particular version that I got seems to come back for me. So I'm going to go ahead and plant them here. So let me go ahead and finish getting these hostas clipped out, start getting the plants and bulbs planted in here, and then I'll get it blown out. I'm going to probably get everything blown out before I put the mulch so stuff isn't moving around. All right, so it looks so nice. Like I said, I cleaned out this bed. Got some pansies and violas, some snapdragons, some chested daisies, and I did plant some daffodil bulbs. But look at this. Don't mind that. We're working in the garden area. Doesn't that look so nice with that pop of chartreuse? And then the leaves will end up getting a burgundy tone to it. That is going to look really, really nice. Now, the only thing left I have to do is go ahead and get this mulched. I didn't get up all of the leaves, but most of them, because we still got tons of trees of my neighbors that have to fall. I am really pleased with how this turned out. All right, guys, like I said, I got them all planted. I am just so happy with how this ended up turning out. And just to have this chartreuse color pop against the slate fence, I think it accomplished exactly what I wanted it to. But let me give you guys some specs, and part of the reason why I ended up choosing the double play candy corn by Proven Winners. Now, this is what it'll end up looking like when it's in full bloom. And if it's anything like my other Spirea, it's a wine colored Spirea, this thing will be blooming throughout the season. And as long as I keep it trimmed, that will end up helping produce more flowers. But let's just give you a little bit of the specs. Sun to part shade. And one of the things that they stated was that if you ended up having it majority of the time in the shade, it won't bloom as well, and you won't have this chartreuse color as intense. It has a colorful foliage. It's a petite shrub, and it's durable. Also, the fact that once it gets established, it's pretty much leave it alone. When you have dry spots here in Georgia, you water it, and this thing will do phenomenal, because my other one in the garden has done well. It will give you winter, spring, summer, and fall interest. I know that the leaves will end up falling off, but the branches has like a red tone to them, so you'll end up having that winter interest. And they say, you can use it for mass planting, foundation, border, edging, or containers. Now, this is hardy in zones 4 through 7, it said, but like I said, my other one up there is doing fantastic. It adapts to most well-drained soil, and I did use a nice combination of compost and manure, and the previous soil that I had in it had soil conditioner in it. And then, like I said, once it blooms, you prune it back, and it'll give you another flush. And it's also deer resistant. But because our yard is fenced in, we don't have to worry about the deer. But I am just really excited to see these guys grow to full maturity. And they will get, what does it say on here? It will get 3 to 4 inches tall and wide. So this is going to look absolutely gorgeous back here. All right, guys, I am so happy with how this turned out and how able to provide me with a nice pop of color against our slate fence. It's so important to be able to choose garden plants that is going to create the field that you want. Now, like I said, while I so enjoyed having my endless summers, hydrangeas, the heat was just too much for them once we got into the thick of summer. But for these guys, they will thrive profusely. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and I look forward to you checking out my next video. Now, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and taking this journey with me.